seen, we've got too many techniques, a lot of different approaches. We need to be really clear where we are going to use what and what should be. We have already seen the, the kind of each one of these techniques, how they could be used and what is the advantage versus disadvantage. But in terms of, there's a thing called STOP. So strategic, tactical, operational. So if you look at the strategic level, people in the senior management, executives, CEOs, CXOs, CTO, CIO, all of this, typically these CXOs, and the senior management people, the product sponsors, the project sponsors, business sponsors, these kind of people, you would typically start with interview. I would suggest have a one-on-one interview initially, just to get a what is in their mind, what is the vision, the objectives, and sometimes they might actually have some kind of confidential information that they might not disclose to the larger public. So things like the political aspects of it, the people-centric decisions. I was talking about the example, right, about the Cambridge-based organization where I was doing the work. They had this IT team, which was really a lot of overhead, IT support team with a lot of big, huge server rooms, a lot of blade servers, and a lot of infrastructure going into that, a lot of cost to maintain that, and the team to maintain that. So they said they're not really into IT or technology. They are basically into some totally, completely different business. So they said, one finder said, we're not into IT. We're not a technology company. We're using technology. That's the main thing. But then why should we spend so much time, cost, and people into that, into the maintaining the technology? So that's when they took this hard decision that they should let go of this and instead outsource this to some specialist IT organization and go cloud, use cloud technologies in the cloud suite. But they can't say this out to this only I got to know from conducting the interview with the head of this SIG, the Strategic Innovation Group head. He's a CXO level person. So all of this is important. So you then get a new perspective. Once you can understand why something has been done, then you understand, okay, this is the pain area. This is the real pain area. How can you kind of address that in your solution, new proposed solution, right? So very important. So I would suggest, if it's senior executives and senior management and people who are, it doesn't matter. It's not just with the business, even with CTO, technology personnel as well. CTO, for example, CIO, they're also technology people, but then they're senior in their roles. So they've got budgets, they've got constraints, they've got challenges to overcome, they've got the vision of the larger organization, the bag goals, as we say, big, hairy, audacious goals, that the 5-year goals or a 3-year goal that their organization as a whole has got. And then to achieve that, this particular project has got its own goal. It's aligned to that BAG goal, right? So you need to really understand all of these. The intricate details of this only could be understood with interviews. It cannot be just done in workshops or other kind of techniques. And with the tactical level, you've got the middle management, people who are in the director level, people in the managerial level, project managers, program managers, portfolio managers, heads of departments, business unit head. These are the kind of people. And then leads. If you have got these people, then I think it would be good to have, ideally, if you want to get ideas or kind of take a consensus and take some decisions, then workshop is the best technique that you can adopt. Or you can have an interview, but then it's not really it's not effective, because you already got that from the interviews with them, with the senior managers. So you understood all of that. And this is about how you can achieve that goal, the vision, the dream, right? So prototyping, for example, could be, you can just engage them perhaps monthly or a bi-monthly meeting where you can showcase the product that you're working on, so that you can get the feedback from them early on. So that's another thing that you can try and engage. So with respect to the operations,
this acronym of STOP, you created
strategic, tactical, operational.
Yeah, is this a BABAC one, or is this one of your?
I don't know if it is. It's not. It's not a official one. It's just, I thought STOP is basically we stop and think about what we're going to use. So it's S, strategic, tactical, is operation, STOP technique.
Fair enough.
That way, yeah. And field personnel, people who are on the ground, who are working in the shop floor, working in the shops, doing the work, actually, developing software, testing it, analyzing it, architecting it, people who are actually doing the work. So these are the people who are on the ground, who have got their hands firmly on the on, on the equipment and the machinery and the products. So with these people, you can't get that, interviews or workshops don't really help. With these people, because they actually do the work, you can try and observe while they're doing. You can actually do the document analysis with them. You can actually go through some of the procedures, manuals that they have created, some of the documents that they would have created as part of they're carrying out the work. So as as a byproduct of their work, they could have created some documents. You can go through them to get the real good picture. Also, maybe interviews with the end users, customers could help. But most important, because of the fact that these are the people who are going to use your product, what are you going to deliver, the process or the product, they are the best people to actually kind of engage in kind of user testing, show something, prototype of your product as it is forming, so you can get more and more insights, more valuable feedback from these people, because it makes the most sense, because they are the ones who are going to use it, even after you make the sale, or even after you deploy the product or complete the process re-engineering. They're the ones who are going to use it. So you can really get a lot of context rich data from these people, and they are the people who don't talk much. They're not people who are talkers or who go on and on about things, but they are people who do. So it's good to actually ask them while they're performing the task, or even after that, and then you get really a lot of context rich data. And also you can learn by looking, understanding, listening to them, rather than asking questions and getting answers. It's not like an yes no kind of a thing there. So for these kind of people, you use a lot of the quantitative techniques like document analysis, observations, all of these are quantitative, and there is a bit of qualitative aspect as well there. But then as well as, for example, if you look at the strategic and the tactical, it's more of qualitative, because they, even though they are into the data, they're driven by numbers, they're more in terms of giving their views, their preferences, their objectives, the expectations about what we want to do with the project, the program, or initiative. So they're in a position to actually tell you that, because they are the people who would be able to guide others, lead others. Whereas the operational people, the field personnel, the team, actually development team, the people who do the work, the workers, the professionals, they have a completely different view of, or different aspect to how they perform the task. It's about performance of the task. It's about how they actually get to use the product in real life, in real time, practically. And that would actually throw a lot of context rich data again. So you need to completely use a different set of techniques with these people compared to what you have got for these. So this is what I thought would be really handy for you to know which one to use where, in what situation, what roles of people the stakeholders you would engage.